How's it going, guys? Back with another update on the markets. And at the moment, as you can see, as mentioned in my previous video, we have, well, not previous video, actually my first video when we had these marked levels for the 1618 indicator. I was assuming that the price action would continue upwards. I actually took a long after this indicator fired on the 15-minute indicator that followed right here, right, with very tight stop loss. It's up around $20,000 at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty good. I can, oh, fuck me. Yep, I can show you that trade right here. And you can see approximately where I entered, which is pretty much the absolute bottom. I could actually move that stop to break even if I wanted to, but I'll manage that trade later depending on what occurs here. And I actually have that absolute high diagonal resistance marked out. I saw this level as a potential stage where the market would at least have a short pullback before continuing upwards. And what we need to, I guess, look at the moment is why that level here was significant. I was speaking to some of the guys on Discord who are, excellent traders themselves, and a level that I was looking out for, let's remove these for now, was this one. Assuming that we are bullish, right? We're measuring 1618 throughout this entire movement. If it produces a swing like this, we're able to measure, as per the rule, a level that was required to be held in order to establish the price as, bullish. And at the moment it's still bullish until it starts to break down from here, and obviously the concerns on whether or not it is likely to correct more are very valid, right? But for the moment, we're going to be watching this price action. I have no idea what intermediate price action there could be, but I'm expecting a breakout sometime in the near future to the upside. Let's have a look at key alts as well that I'm looking at the moment. Something I'm, actually very heavily invested in is Tau. And Tau is a decentralized AI compute project, and pretty much any I guess person can come in and create a subnet that provides a solution, and you can utilize the compute within the decentralized data center that Tau has through other people's computers that essentially make your application work, right? And at the moment, my entries were actually before the price action. I think I mentioned in the previous video as well that it's around the $55 to $60 level. There was like big volatility behind here. And now we're at that $550 mark. And it looks like we're holding a very key level here on the 0618 or the GP, Golden Pocket. Perhaps there could be a swing low, taking out the 470 level. I can see price structure for Tau being quite volatile in the sense that it has broken structure here, right? And often I see deviations, well, you can prove this, below this low before continuing upwards or even breaking down. So if there's a reaction here from Tau to the upside, it would make me a lot more confident in the asset going up further, especially bouncing at this golden pocket region. And if Bitcoin goes up, perhaps it follows along with the market. But we see this price structure at many of the tops that Tau has produced before breaking down. Right, it goes below the low and swings back up. Again, this is similar in a way. Takes out the ascending channel and sweeps below. It's something that happens a lot in this asset, right? So The actual behaviors of specific assets often, rhyme throughout the particular cycle, and the structures formed are sort of like behavioral patterns acknowledged by the participants who are trading it. And that's what I'm seeing throughout this asset itself. So here I can see that there's potential for it to swing low and go high, right? But it wouldn't be a bad place here to DCA into Tau. What else we got? Floki. I think Floki is looking pretty decent. Ignore these lines. There has been a breakout of this level and then we're holding above it. I'm actually not too sure with how low it can go here, but assuming that it has decent beta with Doge, there is good potential here for Floki to keep moving upwards as memes related to dogs are going to follow the movements of Dogecoin. So Floki is one that I feel has a good potential because it has shown strength prior in this cycle, and if history is, I guess, going to repeat itself as per last cycle, strength moves into strength, meaning the stronger coins continue to move upwards and onwards. Something that I've longed here as well, if you saw in my trading stack, is Say. It's looking like it is trying to hold this GP, the local GP, and it seems like a lot of coins are sort of coming off the GP level of their local ranges, right? And that is good to take note of, especially across market support. If you see this level being held, the GP level being held across multiple assets and Bitcoin looks bullish, there is a good, well, more of a probability of a movement upwards in the near future. And sizing in with tighter stops on those support levels will potentially gain you more profits, but obviously manage your risk and don't put on too much leverage depending on your relative size. All right, Sol. Sol is looking really, really, really good. I've been drawing these diagonal resistance lines just to see how Sol fares when it breaks those levels. And there were initial concerns with Sol that the actual price action was going to be similar to this and break down, sweep below these lows before traveling upwards. But at the moment, the breakout is very similar to what I've seen here, where we've ranged for a decent amount of time and we start breaking out of that triangular structure that is created during consolidation. And breaking upwards here is good. I have a small position in Sol at the moment, which is at like $40,000 in size, up around $6,000. My entry into Tau was a lot earlier actually, and I added some size a little bit higher. That got stopped out, so my average entry is up. Initial entry is actually this 229 level, which is the GP of this range, right? If I draw it here, very easy to spot. It's a 0618 level of the right shoulder of this inverse head and shoulders. So now that we have that out of the way, I think that's sort of it. I don't know if there's much to cover. I think FTM is another decent coin to be looking at. It's holding this diagonal structure here. It could come back down and test some sort of fibs here. I'm not too sure how deep it can go. Actually, maybe it has this range GP, which you could come back down to around the 66 cents region, but I'm going to assume that it will continue upwards, but no promises there. As you can see in this structure here, there's like a kind of an ascending type pattern before it ranges in and takes out some of this liquidity before sending back up. So not impossible for us to come back down here, and the market itself as well. At the moment we see Say actually having a good reaction here off my buy, and it's not that big, honestly, 30,000. I'm trying to add small bits and pieces to the actual account and have it run for the entirety of the last phase of the bull market, and that involves getting stopped out or manually stopping out a good amount of trades, so keeping it small and having those grow into six-figure trades at some point is the plan, I guess, plan of action that I'm taking. Other than that, I will scan some of these with my indicator, see if there's anything here. FTM, Phantom, has been really good on the 15-minute. If you were to kind of add positions at those indicators, I've actually missed a lot of these opportunities to add because I've been distracted by other assets. AVAX as well, a bit of a false signal here, but it's starting to react to the indicator very, very well. But again, I don't want to open too many positions where I'll lose track of what things are doing. So I keep everything tight in terms of how I structure my my positions. Right, so FTM is looking good here, bouncing off the 15-minute consistently as it's trending upwards. So, and it hasn't expanded particularly yet, and that kind of tells me that maybe there is some sort of larger move incoming. I would be more worried if the price had tagged the indicator multiple times and was up here, and I would suspect there would be a larger dip incoming, lower expected value as the price starts to progress itself. I think that's it for now. Thanks, guys. I'm going to upload this and go to the gym. Cheers.